There's a problem with my tech setup right now. I'm actually really big into computer building. I love putting them together. I built my own computer. I built my wife's computer. I've built several other computers for other people. I love it. So I ran into a huge problem in March when I was trying to edit videos, and it involved some artifact tearing, which I showed in the preview of this video, or the pre-roll. I have an issue with NVIDIA graphics. Now, NVIDIA itself is a great company as far as the production and things that they make are really great. Their graphics cards are generally amazing, but the industry standard has been those actually for a long time. And this is kind of where we get into some issues. During the pandemic, they actually would sell crates of graphics cards to cryptocurrency mining fields because they would pay essentially to have all of them shipped there, which is a great way to make a high overturn, on your business, which I get from a stakeholder standpoint. The problem is it drove up the price of graphics cards, and I really wasn't wanting to use them. During the pandemic, I was actually using a very old graphics card. It was a GTX 960, which I had actually gotten from my sister's boyfriend at the time. I just needed an upgrade. But during the pandemic, it started to degrade. I could kind of see artifact tearing a lot with different games that I was playing, and I knew that trying to do any kind of video production on it was going to cause issues. So I went and got this, which is a power cooler Radeon 6500 XT. This is not a great graphics card. In fact, it is actually a terrible graphics card, but it was marginally better than what I had, and that's really all that I can say about it. Did it work? Yes. Did it work well? Yeah. It did the bare minimum that I needed it to do. The problem is getting into video production is what I'm doing now. This is not going to cut it. So I went with my wife to Portland to visit some family and to do some things. And my brother-in-law, who is also into computer building, gave me this, which is a 5700 XT, which is a great graphics card. Unfortunately, there has been some issues with this. So with the Windows 11 update, there's actually been a lot of crashing that happened. And unfortunately, I could not get it to stop. And after about the 15th time trying to run this, I ran into basically a lot of crashes, things of that nature were happening to where it would reset the graphics, and I would actually have to uninstall and reinstall the graphic drivers constantly with this. So this is not a stable environment that I could use for video editing, which became a major issue. By the way, Brian, if you're watching this, I have plans to use this, and I greatly appreciate you giving this to me. It is still a great card, and I absolutely have a spot for it. Because I didn't want to use NVIDIA because of their business practices, and AMD kept crashing on me, I was kind of at a little bit of a loss as far as what I could do. However, Intel actually launched their own graphics cards, the Intel Arc Alchemist series, and I was actually kind of hesitant at first because the software that I use for editing videos is DaVinci Resolve, which I actually love, the software. It is amazing. However, one issue that I have after getting this A770 is like you were seeing in the beginning of the video, where we have some graphics that are tearing, that's not keeping up, and things of that nature. And I was trying to figure out what I could do in order to fix the issue. So now that I've got my area riddled with graphics cards, and by the way, for the record, still using it now. One night after I had actually launched this, which is actually, believe it or not, April 1st when I launched the videos, I actually had a buddy of mine that watched it. He was like, yeah, I love it. There's a little weirdness on your February vlog. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I went through and I little chopped it and it looked like everything was fine. The sound was good. And I was like, okay, it should be fine. So I went through and looked, and like you saw in the beginning of the video, it was awful. It was absolutely terrible, not acceptable. I privated the video and I was like, well, no one can see it until I'm ready for them to see it. Then it went into the troubleshooting as far as what I could do in order to get the video to work the way that I wanted it to, which became again, an issue. There were several solutions, and I tried different software ideas as far as like maybe rendering these, making them all one clip, making it easier for the graphics card to process. Every single time it was met with the same issue. Ultimately, let's start looking at the graphics card to see what might be the issue. I run over to my wife's computer, grabbed 3 clips that was in my April vlog, and I was like, well, this had the most issues, so what I'm going to do is try to edit a small portion of a video over on her machine and see if I can get that to play the way that it should, because theoretically, if it doesn't work on mine, but it does on hers, it's going to be the graphics card, which really stinks because I actually really like my Intel Arc A770, but if I can't use it, then what is the point? And then my wife, who during the pandemic got her hold of one of these RTX 3060s, it ran like a champ. And every editing software is designed with NVIDIA in mind. So ultimately, that is what I should have gone with. I was hesitant at first because, again, I don't like the business practices that they have. So for right now, I am going to be switching to an RTX 3060. I will probably upgrade to probably a 4070 Ti. When the prices drop a little bit, because I just don't want to spend the money on those right now. That is some tech issues. So again, if you are using DaVinci Resolve and you have an Arc A770 and you're experiencing what I am experiencing, that is probably going to be the solution. Now, there are some other things I could have tried. For instance, I could have upgraded my CPU. I have an AMD Ryzen 3900X in my build right now. I could have gone with a 5950X, which technically would have probably helped. But again, ultimately, it's going to be a GPU issue, because while the processor is great to upgrade, the graphic processing is going to happen on the graphic card and the VRAM. So I didn't really find it necessary to do that, which made me very sad because, again, like I said, I really like my Arc A770. I think it's a great product. I think the first rendition is amazing. I look very much forward to Battle Mage and what Intel can do with that. Hopefully, I can switch back to an Intel Arc system if it starts working correctly again. But for now, I have to go with NVIDIA. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you all learn from this and it helps understand maybe a tech issue as far as maybe you're having it. And hopefully, I can save you some time in troubleshooting. Yay. I'm so upset. I really am upset. I hated the fact that I had to switch. Anyways, thank you. Please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hopefully you guys can continue coming on this journey with me through the highs and lows. I'm trying to show you everything. So, bye.